Hey guys, M13 here. I got a quick topic. How to warn your children, this is for parents or for teachers, how to warn your children about like perverts. I'm not going to use the word pedophile because that word is so way overused. You know, pedophile means prepubescent child. Prepubescent means like not developed at all. It means like, you know, flat chest, nothing, hairless. That's a pedophile. If a girl is like 10 years old and she's already had her period and she's got like some, you know, she's got a chest or something, and then some guy, he's not a pedophile. It doesn't matter that she's 10. If she's hit puberty, if she's already hit puberty when she was 9, he's not a pedophile. Anyways, so perverts, people that go like if you're a grown man and you're trying to pick up a 14-year-old girl, you're technically not a pedophile, but you're still a pervert scum. So, one thing I tell my children when I was teaching, I would tell my students, if an adult, you know, like if a man, like 99% of the time it's men, so it's a safe generalization to say man. If a man asks you for directions, like where's the train station, or excuse me son, do you know how to get to this street, or something like that, he is a pervert. Call the police, run home. And my students are like, what? You just asked me for directions. I'm like, yep. I have never in my life asked a child for directions. And I travel all the time. I get lost all the time. I'm looking for things. I'm looking for train stations. I'm looking for shit. You know, I can't read Chinese. It's very common for me to need to ask people for directions. Never once, not once, have I asked a child. That'd be the, you know, like, if I want directions, I'm going to look for a 20-something-year-old male. That's generally, or a boss of a shop, like someone who's working in a shop, so I know that they're local and I know they should know the area. I'm not going to go and ask a 10-year-old how to get to the train station. So I told them, like, if an adult, like a safe general rule is if an adult, if you're out by yourself, and it's a cop. And if you're out by yourself and an adult tries to speak to you, then chances are they're like a pervert. You know, they're a molester, child molester. There's a better way to say it. That's a, you know, like there's no reason for an adult to speak to someone else's child. There's exceptions to this rule. Exceptions would be if my child was with me. You know, if I'm with my son and we're at a park and there's other kids and I might talk to another kid that's playing with my son or something, you know, maybe tell him, you know, be careful, don't throw the ball so hard, whatever. Yeah. Or if kids start chatting to me, I can answer them back, especially in Taiwan because I'm a foreigner, so I'll have local kids showing any curiosity about me. Kids here will come up to me and they'll be like, oh, where are you from? Are you from America? And I'll be like, no, actually, I'm from another country. I got some books and pictures of that country in my van. Come, I'll show you. Got some candy in there and some puppies as well. What am I doing? I'm turning left and then left. What? Okay, turn left. Then turn left. What is this? Okay, turn left. Okay, I think we're on the 3 now. It's so weird. It says, oh, I get it. Turn left and then... That's funny. Okay. So yeah, I'm just, you know, you should let your children understand, like, they have that whole don't talk to strangers. Take it one step beyond that. Take it on to, like, if a stranger, because I think that's like the general thing that perverts will use. They'll just try to, like, something that seems very harmless, like, oh, do you know where the train station is? And then they start to feel out the kid's personality or whatever, looking to see if the kid's a victim or not. And, you know, just by initiating a conversation with the child should know that it's not just don't answer back. The kid should know, like, danger, you know, like, there's no reason that this adult should be speaking to you. Something abnormal is happening at this point. Yeah, and another exception would be is if, you know, if you're standing next to them. If you're standing next to them and someone talks to them and they just think they're cute, that's fine. But like if, you know, like if the kid's on their own outside, I tell my kids that. And I say to my kids, like, when I say my kids, I'm referring to students that I used to have. I would tell my kids, if they're at the playground, like at their school, and I said to them, do you ever have like adults hanging out at the playground? And they're like, yeah, there's this one guy, he'll come and he'll just, you know, I'm like, is he exercising? Is he jogging? And they're like, no, he'll just kind of stand around. I'm like, okay, well, that's a child molester. That guy right there. Like, if you're a vigilante, like if you yourself are like a father and you're, you know, you're a big muscular guy and you feel like beating up a pervert, just go to a playground. Go to a playground on like a little kid's playground and then see if there's any guys hanging out there. It's happened so like I've talked to a lot of people who were molested as children, or back when I was dating, when I was a teenager, I would talk to girls that were like 15, 14, and they would tell me that like they got felt up in the playground. It happens in the playground a lot. So, oh, and one time, I remember one time I was at the playground with my students. It was like class ended, and then some of my students said, they're like, Teacher M, do you want to come with us? Excuse me. And the playground was just like across the street, so I'm like, okay, I got nothing. That's when I first moved here. I had nothing else to do, so I went with them to the playground, and some guy walked up to me, and he was all like creepy, and he's like, hey, he's like, how do you know these kids? You know, he was just like, he was like a, you know, like at the time I didn't pick up on it too quickly, but afterwards I realized, yeah, that was a child molester, and he was trying to feel me out to see if I was another child molester. At the time I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really figure out what was going on. So I went back later to look for him so we could exchange numbers and shit and websites and maybe share a Dropbox. I'm kidding again, I'm kidding. But yeah, so yeah, I kind of realized afterwards that was like scary. And then there's my whole, you guys see, and then I got the whole McDonald's video. That video has gotten, okay, where am I going? Shit, do not know. Am I even on the number 3? What the fuck? Oh no, it says turn right. Oh, that's okay, this is a small town. This is probably be like a road that'll go through a small town and come back out on the main road. I actually went off the main road just then. But I said in a recent video that I need to go off the main road more often, you know? When I'm traveling, I generally stay on the same main roads, and I miss out on these little towns. And I like exploring and just seeing like these smaller towns, like this town definitely falls into the category of like small mountain town. Mountains are just there. We're a bit away from the city. You usually get some beautiful girls in these kind of cities as well. See, I actually honked at that woman, not for me, because I could get around her no problem, but I honked at her for the person behind me.